Real quick before you start, this is opinion based, so please don't be mad at me. And spoilers. Dot. Real quick. Link in the description. Twitch, Twitch. Follow the Twitch. Follow the Twitch. I'll be streaming my next Fallout video. I'll be streaming it after this video's out, probably like in a few days or something like that. So go follow. Go follow. Anyways, getting back to the video. Thank you. Bye. So, you know that 2000s game made by Rockstar where there's different gangs, you rob, fight, steal, and all that? Yeah, that game. Wait, no, not that game. That game. Bully. Released by Rockstar on October 17th, 2006. Originally released on the PS2 and Xbox 360. So, this game is pretty old. This is my first time playing the game, and originally, I wanted to do The Simpsons Hit and Run, but this game popped up in my YouTube recommended, and I wanted to play it for myself. Just to move something out of the way, I did plan the Scholarship Edition on Steam. It looks a little better than the original, but just want to get that out of the way for any confusion. I'm not going to actually go over every mission in the game, because what would be the point of you wanting to get the game for yourself? However, I'm going to be using the missions for reference if I find it funny or along the lines of that. But to actually get in the meat of the video, or fist fighting, since, yeah, that's what happens.
Shut the hell up, bitch. Go kill yourself. Go sit in the middle of the road and let a car run over you.
Everything I say in this is kind of expected. This game is old, and you can't really blame it. But since the game was ported from console to PC, it runs fine, other than the game crashing, which is very, very surprising. There were multiple times this game crashed in between missions and I had to restart, and since this doesn't have autosave, if you crash in between a mission or in the middle of it, when you reload the game, it goes back to your previous save. So, but it's also like 16 and a half years old and ported to PC, so you can't really blame it. Another thing is that almost every action has the same button, and there was more than a few times where I was trying to start a mission or get into a building and you accidentally get on a bike or something like that. It's not the worst, but when you have cops running after you or on the brink of knocking out and getting punched in the head, it gets pretty hectic to say the least. Onto the pros, which is surprising. You think there'd be more cons. Maybe I just forgot about some. I don't know. Starting off, the missions. I love the way they progress the missions in this game. I mean, you go to a star, pinpoint it on your map, and that's where you begin the mission. The missions are short, usually around anywhere from like 5 minutes to 20, maybe a little more depending on where you're at. They get a little longer towards and the end of the game, since that's where a lot of the bigger stuff happens. But you can usually crank out 10 missions in just one session of playing it. It keeps the game moving along and doesn't stagger or demotivate you, which I have a big problem with, so this was very, very fun for me. Another is that the game's fighting is very fun. Not really unique, but just fun. Throughout the game, you unlock new weapons by pushing through the story, but you can also rely on your good old fisticuffs to get the job done. It's not like the enemies get stronger as you progress, however the bosses do. The music, which I'll have its own dedicated section later, but just, wow, the music is amazing. No matter what you're doing, beating up a homeless man or just riding your bike, I can feel myself getting along with the rhythms and jamming out. I don't know if it's the fact that the music's just catchy or good, but enough talking about it for right now. We'll get onto it later. This isn't very big, but the character customization, like what you wear and look like, is very fun to play around with. I mean, personally, I think the skeleton costume you get for a Halloween event is the best by far. The game makes you go to these different areas for customizing and make changes to your character to move on, so you can get a feel it. You get to style your haircut, so nice. Now, I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it because I was just grinding and wanted to get this video out as soon as possible, so maybe I'll go back through later and do a little fooling around with it. Since we're on the topic of grinding the game, what about now for the gameplay. And holy, is this more diverse than a bag of M&Ms.
Open the door or I'm gonna throw rocks through your windows, you dumb whore.
I felt like putting a better joke over this, but I couldn't think of anything that was allowed to say on YouTube. There are a ton of different things in this game. Like, they have a Stone Age version of Friday Night Funkin'. I know that that is a dead game, but anyways, just for representation. But there are a ton of different missions in this game. Puts you anywhere from fighting to timed events. The missions in this game are some of the most fun experiences I've had in a long time. And I think the best part is that a lot of missions revolve around the different gangs, and you get to experience what they do and each of their individual personalities. For example, I think my favorite mission, just because of the sheer fun, is boxing the preppy rich kids. How they're stuck up and must be better than you at everything sort of gimmick. I'm not sure if it's the easiness to it, or just that it reminds me of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, or a mix, but beating them at the end of the missions feels so much better.
Who's the boss now? I can't hear you, rich kids. Who's the boss now, my waspy little friend? Answer the question.
You are.
Louder!
You are.
Good! That's right, me! Now you girls, learn to play nice, you understand?
The simplicity of what you do just makes it so you can just focus on having fun in the game instead of worrying about other things. Another mission that is just a ton of fun is the Halloween pranks you pull. Alright, so editor's note. While I was, editing this, I realized that I didn't go over his name yet, but the guy right there, he's wearing a Waffen SS uniform. A literal Nazi uniform. So just pointed that out. Another mission that is just a ton of fun is the Halloween pranks you pull. Now, I'm not gonna spoil it, but this will. So you can kind of get the rough idea why I love this game. But I don't know how I can endorse this game without mentioning the chasing sequences. Now, they aren't my favorite mission, but it would be a sin not to mention them while I have you here now. I feel like they're a bit more adrenaline rushing, especially with the timer that ticks down, and if you fail, you have to restart the entirety of the mission again and again, and because you failed the previous 2 times. So, they are a little more hectic than your average run around beating people up. So, speaking of running around, there's bike races you have to do, and they're alright. Maybe you'd like them more, but I'm completely terrible at them, and I want to kill myself after the 5th time I failed in a row. The thing is, they can be fun, and I get that, but I'm just not into races, honestly. I think they are kind of boring compared to the rest of the game, so after the required one to go through, I never really bother to go for, the side missions and that. Don't get mad at me, please. How about the weapons? And mentioned a little bit earlier, I don't know how, but they're so simple, it makes it a ton of fun. They're easy to use. You don't have to go on a huge scavenger hunt to find them. They're literally in your room when you load up the game, or you can just go buy whatever you need. And while at the store, get all the things you needed to win the girls of your dreams. And when you kiss a girl, you get a 25% health increase, or something like that. You get more health, and who doesn't want more health? Finally, well, the last mission I'm going to go over right now is the best thing I've ever seen in a game. You are tasked by a homeless man that believes he's Santa to go and destroy the equivalent of a mall Santa. So it's exactly what it sounds like, but just outside in a little roundabout. And guess who comes to attack you during the mission? Elves. They're midgets. Yeah, but who exactly is doing this beating? The characters. The characters. Where do I start? I'm surprised it took this long to get to them. So, we're starting off. We might as well start with the main character that I haven't even given the name for yet. Jimmy Hopkins. A boy who's been kicked out of every school he's gone to and now forced to go here. And he's as mean as he looks. Has a terrible relationship with his parents, just like me. That was a joke, Mom and Dad. Please don't get mad if you're watching. But in reality, he's more of an anti-hero. His aim is to take control of the school by taking over the factions. But in the end, his goal is to curb the violence and, stop the bullying, as you can tell the name of the game. Now, let's just say, Jimmy isn't the most sane, level-headed person, a little hot-headed with how he treats certain problems he faces, sometimes going to an extreme level to complete whatever task he does. Sometimes he does a little more than endanger himself, but can't really be mad because it gets the problem done. Compared to other characters, he's more level-headed. Since we're on about crazy characters, how about we go to Johnny Vincent? Ooh, where do we start? He's kinda crazy. He dates a girl that cheats on him almost every day, and he went megalomaniac and wound up in a mental institute. You think he would change his ways, change his future, make his life better, break up with her? No. He stays with her because he loves her. Not only that, but either his ego is so high or so low that believes he's better than you throughout everything you do. Make sure he is on top of the food chain, and even if you disturb it a little bit, he calls you out and wants to prove you wrong. It's funny how he would do anything to prove you wrong, and he gets beat again, and again, and again. Editor's note. He's insecure. Very fucking insecure. Like, a lot. A lot. He's a lot. He's insecure. Alright, done with editor's note. Thank you. So, we went from an anti-hero to an antagonist, and how about we go to the opposite side of the spectrum? Kind of, sort of like the protagonist. Not the main protagonist, but kind of like a few steps lower. Little Petey, one of the main characters, he shows up periodically throughout the game and gives ideas and strategies to Jimmy. He's kind of like his right-hand man, but I like to believe he's kind of like the brother that follows you around. He's bullied by Gary, which I'll talk about him later. Yeah, I'll talk about him later. And Petey just takes it. I feel bad. No one cares about him, and Jimmy barely does anything. No one respects him, and Jimmy barely crosses that line. Just barely. Petey's just a little boy, and I felt sympathizing with him throughout the game because come on, he's just a little boy.
You know what, Pete?
And finally, well, characters that I'm gonna go over: the good old main antagonist, Gary Smith, a little shit that is more delusional than a 90-year-old senile man. Gary shows up at the beginning and the end of the game. Gary's motto is that he wants to run the school. I'm using air quotes, you can't see it. Basically, run the ravished empire that is Bullworth Academy. In reality, literally all he wants to do is just make everybody fight each other. Not even, like, not control them, just fight. That is it. That is literally it. Even for the short time in the beginning, and at the end, he's still a dickhead, insulting you, picking on you, other people around you, showing no remorse for what he does. Through the beginning of the game, you are led to believe that he's helping you, but in reality, he's letting you deal with all the gangs and rivals just to swoop in the ending. After all you've done, beating countless amounts of people to get to the ending, just to see, Gary has taken over the school and pushed every group to fighting. After dealing with Gary's nuisance all game, you finally get to confront him. To take back control, to climb upon the tower and have an epic fight against him. It was easy. The fight literally took 5 minutes. This game is terrible. I'm joking. This game ending is the best you could ask for. You get the girl you want, take down the megalomaniac, and live the rest of your days in peace. At least I hope. The ending couldn't keep me from smiling. I don't know if it was just the person that's been antagonizing you from the start of the game. You could finally give a knuckle sandwich and beat him to a pulp. Maybe it's the satisfaction of just finishing the game. Listen, I don't think I could explain the sense of joy I felt. Play it for yourself, please. It's not that expensive. It's worth the price. Only $15. Please, just give it a try. I beg you. So, what do I mean by extras, music, and jokes? Now, I could have put this in gameplay, but I'm tired, and I don't feel like going back and revising everything. Am I lazy? Yes. Why? No more questions allowed. Honestly, the music in this game is great. I mean, just listen. It's great. It's a vibe. I don't know how they do it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm speechless. It fits the game so well, especially while just cruising around the town to get to your next mission. And keep in mind, that was only the title. I do recommend you go through and listen to the soundtrack. Now, I could go through a lot of jokes and spoil it for you, which I'm gonna do, but only one, since if you want to buy this, I want you to experience the jokes. But just the one joke I'm gonna tell you is it's about the gym teacher. The gym teacher asks you to go to the girls' dorm and steal their laundry. I'm not joking. Oh, you want to know where you get this mission from? Him walking out of a porno store. I'm not making this up. What? Huh? Huh? If you did enjoy this video, I know the ending was a little, goofy, but no, it's an ending. It's an ending. But if you haven't made it to this point in the video, I thank you. I thank you, because this took me a while to make. If you would, please consider liking and/or subscribing. That would make me feel very happy. But anyways, have a damn good day, and I'll see you next time.